welcome to our Facebook Live. I Got My Miracle, and I am here with my friend Tom from Nashville.
Hello.
And Tom, we're just gonna talk about Tom's week here and Tom's journey, because you've had quite the journey on the medicine.
Yes, absolutely.
So, first question that I like to come out with is, what brought you to rythmia?
Well, this was actually my sixth time at rythmia.
Wow.
I started coming in early 2020, and I've been back 5 times before this.
Awesome.
And
so more than once a year.
More than once a year. And this time, the way I look at it, it's almost like a spring cleaning.
Yeah.
It's like a checkup.
Yep.
And it has brought just incredible insights and freedom and just an ease of being in my life, that it's something that I know when I need another, experience of. Yeah.
Beautiful. Like a little spiritual tune-up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Amazing. So you felt the call, you came back.
Yes.
Can I ask you, way back to 2020, what was the catalyst that brought you to rythmia?
Okay. Well, at that time, I had just finished up a 32-year career in finance, very kind of high-stress job. My kids were kind of away at school.
Okay.
I had just gone through a very difficult health crisis. And it was like almost a stacking of decades of living too hard and fast. Interestingly enough, I had been sober from drugs and alcohol for 20 years in the AA program, which was amazing.
Okay.
And I had an aversion when people would talk about ayahuasca, because I thought of it as a drug.
Okay.
And then I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of people, and I came to understand it as more of a medicine.
Absolutely.
And so it was in the beginning of this spiritual journey that I found out about rythmia. And I came here and I combined it with some breath work at a retreat down the road. And I just said, I'm going to go to Costa Rica for 3 weeks. Nice. And I'm going to hit the reset button. Perfect. Yeah.
Wow. And then did you know before you left that you were going to come back again?
I booked the, you have a great opportunity when you leave here to rebook. And then I was able to book 3 additional visits for family members. I didn't know who, but I just knew I wanted to share this. It was such a profound experience.
I love that.
And my brother ended up coming within a year.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's perfect. That's perfect. So what would you say, like, from this trip?
Yeah.
Was there a big shift? Or we like to talk about miracles. Was there a miracle that appeared, or came to you this trip?
There were many.
Always.
And they were fast and furious. It started on the first night. Nice. I think because I've been here, my body has acclimated a bit to the medicine. Sure. So it really resonates. And as much as, there's some things that are in your face and that are a bit challenging, there's just a grace that comes with it. Right. And the medicine just has this, they call it the Divine Mother. And It just has this way of kind of holding you and rocking you, and also challenging you to let go of what's not serving you anymore.
Beautiful.
So I had layers and layers of deep forgiveness. Yeah. Also, there was an accountability to live differently, because, it's the thinking, and then I have a habit where I love to talk, and I recognize a lot of that was getting in the way of actually feeling.
Oh,
and
I get that.
There was a lot of, call it what you will, but higher self, spirit, God, that those messages were blocked. And more of them got through, and they got into my body. And at times it was, electrifying and overwhelming. Yeah. But it was also like the greatest peace and ease I've ever experienced.
Right. And so how was this trip? Was there something significantly different about this trip? Because we say every ceremony is different, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So did it hold true to that statement?
It did, in the sense that there were times where it would come into my body, and then it would feel like it would leave, and then I would be trying to get it back. And what it really felt like this time, it was an ongoing stream into my body. Nice. And it was constant new awareness. It was like being aware. And then I had the moments where I'm human. So I would go back to the thoughts, or I would obsess on something. And then there was this gentleness and ease, which would just bring me right back to breathing, being in my heart, I mean, what often happens to me, that happened to me abundantly this trip, was a re-experiencing of my life with like the playful curiosity of a little boy.
I love that.
And it was like, wow, like seeing my life and what at the time were significant challenges. I mean, I fell off a 6-story building when I was 30 years old. Whoa. And was in a wheelchair. And I mentioned that I had this other crisis that happened.
Yeah.
These things that were incredible challenges at the time became opportunities. And ultimately this week, I saw many of them as gifts. They were gifts because 100%. They guided me to live my life differently.
I 100% understand what you're saying. Yeah. I had a lot of trauma, which led me to rythmia. And the beautiful thing is it was all happening for me.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, before I understood a lot of what I understand now, at the time, it was like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And you get that.
Yeah.
It's happening for you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would say also it was, I have 2 children. My wife has 2 younger children. I call them my bonus children.
Beautiful.
I grew up the youngest of 9 kids.
Wow.
My mom and dad, I had a different experience of them. Like rather than experiencing them with maybe some of the judgment I had, as I was getting older and didn't always get what I wanted, I experienced them in their younger selves also. Oh. And then I experienced my grandparents. Nice. And there was just an understanding of this is the way it all needed to be.
Right.
And with my kids, just saw them as so much stronger and capable. And, it kind of was able to be in more of a witnessing them rather than feeling this need to fix them or give them advice or other things. So the medicine does a really nice way of kind of pulling you back and saying, hey, what's yours is yours, what's theirs is theirs. And don't rob them of the opportunities that you have had in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though you had hard times and we want to shield our children from hard times. Yeah. Those hard times can it can lead you to roads you would have never gone down.
Exactly.
And if I hadn't had all the traumas that I'd had, I'd be, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here.
Right.
And I get it. I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. And as a parent, that's a hard thing to do, I would imagine, to step back and just let your kids fall and bloody their nose and do their thing.
Yeah. And what I really saw too was, that's what my kids have always asked me to do. Yeah. They've always asked, like, Dad, let us have this.
Let me have my experience.
Yeah, let us do this. And yet be close, like love us, but also like totally accept us as we are. And, like be there for us no matter what, whether you agree or not. Like acceptance is not liking something. Accepting is just accepting it.
Accepting.
Yeah.
And loving regardless.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like what we do here.
Yes.
In ceremony.
Yeah.
We just let you do your thing.
Yeah.
We love you through it.
Yeah.
We're not going to hold you. If you need held, there will be times where we'll hold, but most of the time it's like we just let you have your experience.
Yeah. And I think another message that I really loved on the medicine was this message, like, no one is coming. Like this is on me. Like there's no guru, there's no mentor, there's no teacher
that is shining armor.
Yeah, that is going to magically take care of this. There's not a medication, there's not a therapy that's going to just it's on us.
Right.
And yet what you get is this sense that you can do anything. You can, like, we all can do this. Yeah. And that was the real beauty of having that reinforced over and over again.
Yeah.
And sometimes the way it's reinforced doesn't feel really gentle in the moment.
Not always.
But on the other side of it is like the most incredible freedom.
Yeah. You wouldn't trade it.
No, not
I
for
wouldn't
anything.
Trade any of my hardest nights on the medicine for not doing it.
Exactly.
Like I wouldn't opt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you've come back 6 times.
6 times. And, I will admit that sometimes I leave here and say, this is the last time.
You're not the first. And then in 2 weeks, I get a phone call.
Well, and then, like life goes on.
Right.
And I think of the just how good I feel when I'm here.
Right.
My wife, I would say this is not something she's interested in. And she gets a little nervous and stuff for me when I go.
Sure.
But every time I come back, it could be a few days, it could be a week later.
Yeah.
She looks at me and says, "You can go again."
Aww.
Because she sees what comes through.
Yeah.
And also it's what comes through for her and for her kids.
Right.
And how I'm able to show up a little more authentically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot less ego,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot more of just, you know, being the man I was meant to be.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So your whole family benefits, even though they may never come drink the medicine.
Yeah. No, I mean, my brother came here,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely changed his life.
Yeah.
The people he rode from the bus to Rythmia with are his best friends in the world.
That's the way it works.
He went and spent 6 months with them in Tamarindo.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's just on with his life, and we get to share this. Yeah. And he's one of the first persons I text because he gets it. Right. He gets what I'm going through and where I'm at. And I had a sister that came as well.
Nice.
I had, you know, one of my closest friends came as well. So,
yeah.
you know, and yet people have to want to come here.
Yeah, right.
You know, I've thought of my kids, I've thought of, you know, other people, and yet it's something you have to agree to for yourself. Don't come for anyone else.
Right.
And if you come for yourself and you're ready to just be with whatever is, because it is scary.
A little bit.
And no growth takes place inside your comfort zone.
Right.
So, you know, this is a beautiful place, and you got a lot of nice amenities.
Yes, a lot of creature
and
comforts.
Yet you get to be really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's a comfort in it because you're traveling with beautiful souls from all over the world.
Right.
I mean, a lot of the accommodations and everything here are pretty nice, but it's also the container that, you know, you, Sally, as well as Jerry, and the whole staff hold for you. So it's the ideal place. And then besides the medicine, there's all the other things that we do, the yoga, the breath work, you know, all of the other things. That
the entire program.
Yeah. It's not just medicine.
No, it's an entire program.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, from the classes to the yoga to the activities, everything.
Yeah.
And it's very intentional.
Yeah.
It's very intentional.
Yeah.
I love how you earlier talked about playful curiosity.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel, well, I'll just ask you, do you feel like you get more playful and more curious the more you do the medicine and the more we advance in the years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, there's a humility of, you know, the fact that I don't always know what to do or what to say or other things. And then the playful curiosity comes in of like, you do reconnect with your inner child here.
For sure.
You know, I had experiences in ceremony where it was like the younger me and the me now. And we were kind of like feeling each other out. And then there was like this, I don't know if the word is apology, but like there was an understanding of like, you were the way you were. I understand how you got here.
Right.
And there was like just a respect of the future me thanking the past me for doing all the work.
Right.
And the past me saying, I wish I would have known where it was going to end up because I wouldn't have worried so much along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's
we
what
can't
needed
change
to happen.
that. But that's where the forgiveness of self and releasing guilt and shame, that's where all that comes in, which is so beautiful. And once you do that, it's like, oh my gosh, how did I was crippled personally. I was crippled by all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff wasn't even mine.
And
it belonged to somebody else.
The playful curiosity and particularly the medicine, it helps you laugh when you need a laugh the most.
Yes.
Where you just, you know, the utter ridiculousness of the mind and the ego and the things it tells us.
Right.
And all of a sudden you get this awareness of like, I don't even believe that.
Yeah.
You know, where did that come from?
Right. Programming.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm 100% Irish and grew up Catholic. I joke that my family was part of the CIA, the Catholic Irish alcoholic, you know? And so you get a chance in the ceremony to look at all that conditioning and programming and understand that, you know, all of my ancestors and my lineage and my parents and my kids, like none of us ever wanted that.
No.
And so that's what the medicine really does. It gives you an opportunity to break that chain.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I have to say, I noticed you this week, and I noticed your playfulness in Dance of Liberation.
Okay.
And tell me about that experience.
Sure. So I have never been a dancer. It goes back to standing on the sidelines of the 8th grade dance and being terrified to get out there. And my whole life, I made up a story that I am not a good dancer. And I came here a few years ago, and I did the Dance of Liberation, and you're blindfolded, so you can't even see what other people are seeing. And I absolutely just let my body go wild. And then I got married to my soulmate a few years ago.
Beautiful.
And it was in our backyard in Nashville. And we had a moment where everybody danced in the middle of everyone. And I did the Dance of Liberation again. And my family, like, they were like, what is happening? Because I used to not dance.
Amazing.
So I had that again when I just did that with you and Victor yesterday. And it's just the ability to release tension and energy, move energy through the body. And with the dance, and I just have, I have just such a new appreciation for it.
Yes, that's amazing. That's so good. Oh, so good. Well, I appreciate you so much. And it's just been a joy to watch you guys go through your journeys this week. And you come in with the burdens of life on your shoulders. And then by the time you leave 7 days later, you're just all light and your eyes are clear and your skin is clear. And it's beautiful. So what would you say to somebody who's thinking about or considering coming to Rythmia?
Okay.
Or coming back to Rythmia?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, come here with an open heart, come here with an open mind. If you've been here before, don't have any expectations. It's going to be like the time before. For me, every time goes deeper and deeper, and it's different in beautiful and novel ways. And I would say if you haven't been here and you're contemplating it, read the reviews on TripAdvisor. I mean, that for me was, just what happens to people, how their lives changed. If you know someone who's come here, really get into that. When I'm thinking about doing something, I really want to talk to people that have been through it, and I want to have a firsthand experience of that. But I would also say, if you are looking for a life-changing experience, I did therapy for decades. I did all sorts of healing modalities. And what I was able to do here in my first week in 2020, surpassed all of that in 1 week.
Right. So true. So true. You can save a ton of money, actually.
Yeah.
You can save a ton of money, a ton of time. You can save your family and children, lineage, and frontward and backward, all kinds of heartache. You can break the chain.
Yeah,
and you did break the chain.
Absolutely.
And that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. That touches my heart so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Tom, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your story and your life with us. And coming to Rythmia, so good. So if you are interested in coming to Rythmia, please listen to Tom. He's had 6 beautiful experiences, all of them very different.
Yes.
And just working on different things on each one. But come down to Costa Rica, beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We are waiting for you. So come see us. Have a great Saturday. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.